Hello worlds. GPT-4o is here. O stands for Omni. Basically, it's a step towards more human computer interaction, as it's able to accept any type of input, text, audio, image. It's free for anyone. Limits probably will be less than the paid version. But what is incredible about this is the humanness. Now that they've been able to reduce the input of 232 milliseconds with an average of 320 milliseconds, that is basically what humans are able to converse at. So when you take a look at this little demo and just listen to how incredible it is, that is able to synthesize speech that is able to then be modified in almost real time. Pay attention to the fact that ChatGPT is interruptible, that it is responsive, and that it will continue to re-update what it's trying to do in its speech in real time. Listen to this.
So my friend Barrett here, he's been having trouble sleeping lately. And I want you to tell him a bedtime story about robots and love.
Oh, a bedtime story about robots and love? I got you covered. Gather round, Barrett. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte. Byte was a curious robot. Always exploring.
Started this story, but I want a little bit more emotion in your voice, a little bit more drama.
Got it. Let's add some drama. Once upon a time.
Did you notice how fast it stopped talking and then it updated its set of instructions and kept responding? Think of the uses of this. Now, obviously, they're just doing this for something like a bedtime story, but imagine yourself as a student practicing for a test. You really only know if you know something if you're able to explain it. You can use this as a thought partner where you're trying to talk to ChatGPT and ask for feedback. Or even better than that, they're about to showcase video.
Ah, I see it now. You wrote down 3x plus 1 equals 4.
Yep, exactly. So what's the first step I should take to try to solve this?
The first step is to get all the terms with x on one side and the constants on the other side. So what do you think we should do with that plus 1?
Okay, I'm going to try to subtract 1 from both sides, and then I'll see what I get.
Great idea.
So it's taking in the audio. It's also, processing image after image, which is what a video is. And it's able to use that speech with that small time delay to continually update its model and give you the most likely next best helpful thing, which is completely incredible because you don't need to simply take a photo and ask for something. So imagine yourself on the side of your road and you have a flat tire and you say, "Hey, ChatGPT, can you help me change my tire? I don't know what to do." And you hold the video up to it and you tell it, "What should I do?" And then it starts saying, "Make sure you go into your trunk." And then you're like, "All right, I'm going to show you my trunk." And then you point to your trunk and you say, "Okay, the next thing," instead of having to search on Google for it, it's like you have real-time feedback on any possible problem that you have with a co-pilot that's able to help you. Like, these are just the first things that I'm thinking of, and I'm sure I'm going to come up with much more interesting things later, but the amount of things that this can do for students in general, or for just people in general, this is going to be an incredible invention. But it's already here. This quote from Steve Jobs perfectly sums off how I feel.
Whenever we develop a new medium, we generally tend to fall back into our old habits from our old medium. As an example, when the television first came of age in America, the first television shows were simply a camera pointed at a radio show. And it took about 20, 30 years for television to really come into its own.
A camera pointed at a radio. We used to use books as how we look things up. Now we use the internet. The way we currently use ChatGPT, we're falling back into our old ways and we're using ChatGPT like a search engine. But it's so much more than that, especially with the Omni modalities that have now come online. And we're going to use it like we used Google for a while. And that's okay. And I think that it's going to be able to do a lot more crazy stuff when people start to get creative with this. So I'm curious, what can you foresee this incredible technology doing? How can you use it in a way that is unrelated to being a search engine?